Okay. A little bit of you and a little bit of we means it's time ATV.
It is the 2022 Epcot Guide to the Park. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to take you through Epcot and try and get you to figure out where Epcot belongs in your vacation for 2022. What's happening in the park, what rides are open, what rides must you do, what rides could you pass on, and what is coming this year at Epcot. All things Epcot coming up next on the 2022 Guide to Epcot on Tom May TV. The first thing we run into, of course, is in the background of every shot we ever did to begin. It's Spaceship Earth. It generally has a small wait time, unless you're coming in the middle of the summer. It is a good to do. It's not a must do, but I should probably begin by letting you know that there's not a whole lot of rides here at Epcot. And good to do is almost you should probably do it, but definitely not a must do. But it's definitely worth it. Real nostalgic. I mean, to go inside of Spaceship Earth and take the ride is pretty cool. And if you have the time, you definitely ought to do this thing. Definitely a good to do. Just so you know, how the scale goes is we're going to talk about must-do attractions, we're going to talk about good-to-do attractions, and then we're going to talk about attractions that you can do if you have the time, but they are not must-dos. They're just attractions that you could go on if you have some extra time between other things. So take a look, Spaceship Earth. It's a good to do. Okay, we've arrived at the Seas with Nemo and Friends. This is a constantly moving ride on a track, and the smaller the kids are in your party, the more you're going to want to do this one. Is it a must-do? Definitely not. Is it a good to do? It definitely is. This isn't a ride that I would ever waste a lightning lane pass on, even if I could get one for it, because it's completely unnecessary. Because if you're staying at Epcot all day, you can easily get on this ride in the regular wait lines. Right now, the wait is only 15 minutes. And that's all you're going to need to wait for most of the time here, unless it's the middle of the summer and it's crazy. That would probably change things, but must do, no? Good, for sure. And if your kids are little, it moves more towards the must do category. And now we're up to Living with the Land boat ride. This one is debatable because a lot of people love it because it's a kind of the eco ride, and it's kind of a Disney commercial on how nice they are to the land. I would say for me, this is a total miss. I have trouble staying awake on this thing. Many would say that this is a good thing to do if you have the time. You're in this building, so you can kind of do Awesome Planet. You can do Living with the Land, and then we have an absolute must-do. On the other side is Soaring around the world. This one, you just didn't come to Epcot unless you got on Soaring. So you can see the sign down there and over there. You definitely want to hit Soaring. This is one you want to use a lightning lane for. if you're so inclined to use lightning lanes. And it is, although we've been on it about 1 million times, it seems like, and there are times when we're going on it and say, oh, here we go, soaring again. But you know what? It's always good. And you kind of forget how great it is until you get back on it again. So highly recommend soaring. It's an absolute must-do. And if you need a quick bite to eat, Sunshine Seasons is right here. Always crazy busy in Sunshine Seasons. You know, the littler your kids are, the more it becomes a good to do. This is good to do for the average person, just to the left of the reverse waterfall. And for me personally, Tom of Tom ATV, this is a skip. I'm sorry, I don't get Figment. And I'd like to do a 60-yard punt with the Figment popcorn bucket that they're getting $200 on eBay for. Are you kidding me? Holy cow. So we've started our way around the showcase of countries. We've hit Canada, where you can attend Canada Far and Wide in Circle Vision 360. So this is kind of a round theater that you stand in the middle of it, and you get a commercial for Canada. This is something you can skip. Let's just leave it right there. Good to do? I don't know. Probably not. It's kind of older technology, and it's just, this is something you could definitely skip, Canada Far and Wide. But if you have... Remy Ratatouille Adventure, and I love this fountain. I don't know how many times I've shot this thing already, but we just love it. Here's a ride that is the state of the art. You have to do this. This is an absolute must-do. If you tell everybody at home you went to Epcot, but you didn't go on Remy's, then it's like you weren't here. So you have to do it. Make sure you do it. If you have to pay extra to do it, then you have to pay extra. If the wait seems like too long, right now it's 70 minutes. If the wait is 2 hours, you should wait. It's that good. It's that state of the art, and it's the thing, and it's the state of the art in ride vehicles and ride technology, cinematography. It's just fantastic. Highest rating for Remy's. Gotta do it. Next up, the Beauty and the Beast sing-along. There's a new show going right now. Heath, thank you for trying to get us there. Seen it many times. Now, I'm going to say this is a good to do. This is a good to do. The reason I'm going to say this is a good to do is because, yes, it's a theater. It's old school theater. You sit there, you watch a movie. There's nothing special about the movie. There's no effects or anything like that. It's simply music from the iconic movie. And the reason I'm saying it's good to do if you have the time is because you can't sit there. But let me back up a little more. Part of Disney is, and what they mean by Disney magic is, I believe wholeheartedly, is music. Music is so important to the concept of Disney magic that without it, I don't think there can be Disney magic. And it's for that reason that if you sit there, and I challenge you, you sit there and try and go through Beauty and the Beast sing-along, and if you can sit there and not sing along, then you win the challenge. Let me know if you can do that, but I don't think you can do it. And that's why it's not one that you can skip or should skip. It's one that you should do if you have the time. It's definitely good to do. Good luck trying not to sing along, because I don't think you can do it. We're up to an American adventure. This is in the American Pavilion. Mark Twain, Benjamin Franklin in it. And it is definitely not a must-do, but definitely good to do if you have the time. We have arrived at Frozen Ever After. Let's just put this one to bed right now. You absolutely have to do it. You absolutely have to do this one, no matter how long it takes to make. And no matter, the younger your kids are, the better this is. Now, you parents, who I suspect your ears may start bleeding the instant you start hearing any part of this soundtrack. It's too bad. Get in there and take one for the team. It's Frozen Ever After, for crying out loud. It's a boat ride. Pretty cool. Come on, go see Olaf. Test track presented by Chevrolet. This, in most opinions, would be a must-do. A must-do. It's cool. What they have going on now is you go in and you design on a computer your own car. I want to show you this sign out here. You design on a computer your own car, and you have to make choices between speed and power and different things, and you try and develop the best car you can, and when you get done with the ride, it kind of tells you how you did. So it's pretty cool. It has an indoor track where you dart out of the way of various road hazards and stuff, so it's definitely a fun ride. Then you go outside and you go very fast outside. That's, if you've ever been in a convertible with the top down going down the highway, that's kind of what the outside's like. So, must do for most, a good to do for me. Okay, maybe the most controversial ride in the park. Mission Space. It is cool. But if you have any claustrophobia, the ride vehicle is quite tight. And it can, well, let me just tell you, if you get queasy on rides at all, this is going to make you sick. I mean, not a little bit, it's going to get you. So you can see there's never that much of a time to wait because basically people just don't like it. Now green's a little kinder, orange is a little rougher, but this is like a blast off into outer space, and it gives you the G-forces that you'd feel if you were in a rocket. And I'm just telling you, I would go on this on a dare again, but I don't wanna. And unless somebody dares me to do it or is given money to the Martin Truex Jr. Foundation, if I go on this, then I'm not doing it because this thing is wicked. This is one where if you go on it, you don't feel like you checked a box and you feel like you did something. When you get off this, you feel like you did something stupid. So I would skip Mission Space. Okay, last and not least is the future home of Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians of the Galaxy ride, and that is the future home, that gold dome over there, kind of like a Notre Dame helmet, is the future home of Play. And I don't know that much about Play, but Guardians of the Galaxy is the movie franchise, and the ride, they say, is going to be a knock your socks off winner, so that's exciting. So, part of the reason of doing the park updates, and you can see people getting ready up there, doing this, doing that, is trying to figure out where you're going to fit Epcot in. Not only we always assume a 7-day vacation, and you're going to go to the 4 Disney parks one at a time, and maybe you'll head for the beach one day and take a day off, whatever. But trying to figure out where Epcot fits. Epcot is a full day. Magic Kingdom is a full day. Hollywood Studios is a full day, and Animal Kingdom's probably a half day. So that's kind of where that stands. So plan accordingly. This is going to be a butt kicker because
exhausting.
It's going to be a long day. So this Guardians of the Galaxy does not open till the summer of 2022. Therefore, if you have to see it, I would plan my trip for fall or after. If you have to ride this ride, when they say summer, we don't know what that means. It could be the first day of summer. It might be the last day of summer. But if you come in the fall, you're probably going to be okay. So just summing up our guide for 2022, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Epcot, Disney's Epcot, exists for the festivals, and it has some rides in there. So the festivals is really what makes it go. The showcase of all the countries around is amazing to go through it. So don't make this mistake. I think so many people walk from ride to ride in there, walk just around the track like it was a racetrack, and never go through the countries or any of the pavilions or any of the things that they have to offer because they're so focused. Maybe they have kids and maybe they're just focused on rides. So you really shouldn't do that. I mean, look at this lineup. This year, right now running, is the Festival of the Arts, and it goes through February 21st. They've got the food, they've got the art, they've got pop-up character appearances, interactive events. There's a paint by number mural that you can do. You get a little cup of paint and you go paint your little square, and it turns out to be this fantastic mural at the end. It's really fun. You got to do that. Chalk art. You can do some sidewalk chalk art. Kids love it. Animation Academy is where you sit in the theater down at in front of just in front of the American Pavilion. And in that theater, they teach you how to draw Disney characters. Sometimes it's basic ones, and sometimes it's a little more elaborate, but it's really cool to go in there and learn how to draw Mickey Mouse from scratch and learn about the symmetry and the balance of the size of the ears and stuff. You just have to go through it. And you know your kids better than I do, so you decide whether or not that's going to be fun or it's going to be an absolute hair puller, boring thing. So the festivals are fantastic. So think about that. So Flower and Garden Festival coming up March 2nd through July 1st, a very long festival there. But the topiaries, which are the characters that are grown, and the shell is plants, right? So the topiaries are beautiful to see. Full bloom March 2nd through July 4th, long one there. The International Food and Wine Festival, July through November this year. The exact date's not out yet. And then Festivals of the Holiday, which if you're here for the holidays, it's fantastic with the candle procession and all the stuff they do for the holidays there. Just great. So Epcot, is it an adults park? Yep. It's sometimes my favorite too. If you're a foodie and you like food and you like wine and you like sampling different things, and outside of Disney getting kind of cheapo, I mean, they're sizeflation is there. I mean, what you used to get when they first started doing these festivals for the price you got was phenomenal. And you could get a decent glass of wine. Now you get a shot glass full of wine. It's not really a shot glass, it's a plastic glass. It's probably a little bit bigger than that, but it's got roughly a little bit more than a shot in there. It's just really disappointing, and that can be $7 or $8. And the food portions got very, very small, and they can be expensive. So you used to be able to fill yourself to the top for just a few dollars, and you would hit a lot of that stuff and have a really good time doing it. But now, man, I just, shame on you, Disney, for the portion size and drink size. I think beer's the best value there, because at least you get a cup of beer. And there's no messing with that or watering that down or anything like that. But if you're a wine drinker, you're going to be disappointed. Maybe go and have a sit-down meal and get a real glass of wine at dinner there that way. But Epcot, it's great. If you have kids and you had to pick a park to skip, this would probably be it. But besides that, I would absolutely go. It's very difficult to do it all in a day. Rides and go through all the countries, that would be hard, but maybe you can get there. And then Harmonious at night, and it's late at night, but Harmonious at night is absolutely spectacular. Just a little advice there. You can watch it anywhere around the lake, Echo Lake. Or not Echo Lake, but the Epcot Lake. You can watch it anywhere around the lake, but it's best to watch it where the very center of Harmonious is a circle. If you can get in a position where you're flat on the circle, where the circle's not like this, where you're flat on the circle, where you can see what's inside the circle, best place to be. And you've got to be all the way with your back right to Spaceship Earth, or all the way down with your face towards Spaceship Earth, but on the completely other side of the lake. So I think those are the best positions. I've seen it a few times now, and you don't want to see it from the side or anything like that. I think it's, and not that it's bad, but the best viewing positions are head on the big circle in the center. So that's our advice. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. We do this for charity. So the Martin Truex Jr. Foundation, all proceeds go to that charity, and they do great work. And you're helping us just by watching videos, and we appreciate it very much. Until next time, where else would you rather be than trying to figure out where Epcot figures into your trip this year on Tom A TV?